Hey guys, this is Fight Mike here, back with another video. We got a little bit of a different one today. We'll be going through the UFC 165-pound division that I believe that they should be adding in very soon. It's been spoken about widely during the past. I think that at one point it was probably a pretty serious thought that the UFC were having, but they kind of put it on the back shelf, and it doesn't look like that we'll be getting it at any time soon. But I reckon that they should do it. It's a pretty big move that they could make, and I reckon it would bring in a lot more pay-per-views for them, and it would just strengthen up the cards for the fans. Getting started, I just wanted to chat about the pay-per-views that we had last year and how it could actually affect this and improve it. If you see here, there's a couple of fight nights on this graphic here, but there's a few really weak pay-per-views. If you look at like UFC 301, Pantoja vs. Erceg, the co-main event was Martinez versus Aldo, which is just terrible. That was like a number 11 ranked to an unranked matchup. Whereas if we had this UFC 165-pound division as well as an 175, we would be able to fill in these pay-per-view spots with people that we actually want to see. And there's lots of people, like, between 145, 55, and 70, there is, I believe it's over half of the UFC's entire roster. So it's the biggest divisions in terms of size, and we've got definitely enough athletes to throw in 165. So I feel like it's almost a no-brainer. It'll bring way more pay-per-view sales. It's also one of the most famous divisions, and we see somewhat rarely double champion opportunities for these lightweights going up to welterweight. And I think that's just because it's a 15-pound weight jump. And these lightweights are usually the most popular fighters within the UFC. If that weight jump was less of a massive burden for them and it was only 10 pounds going from 155 to 165, I bet we would see this a lot more regularly. And if Dana wants to save the UFC and make these events much more better, it would just be so good for them to put this in. Like, imagine if we could get on a UFC, 318 or 319 card, we could get a 165-pound belt chance for Islam Makhachev to be versing JDM or be versing anyone. And we could just throw it 175, would be JDM versus just a normal contender. Imagine we could have Makhachev versing someone for a 165-pound belt. Over the years, there's been many fighters like a Colby Covington or a Gilbert Burns that are just way too big for lightweight, but then just that little bit too small for welterweight. And then someone like Joel Alvarez, who's 6'2", and I swear he probably walks around to 200 pounds, who's literally a welterweight, but can somewhat make lightweight. He should have 165. All of these guys, it's the average height and weight for a person to be around 165 pounds. So if it's the most average weight in the entire universe, have a division for it. It just doesn't make any sense. They need to chuck this in. We would have so many more pay-per-views per year that would be much more enjoyable. So let's say if there was a 165 and a 170, we could get 2 more pay-per-views per year with an extra really top of the divisions type fight. When we look at a 155 or 170 pound belt fight, we always look at it like it's the pinnacle of the sport. Imagine we could have another one. If we added another one, we would be having 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 events in a year that are hitting these insane levels, or hitting the skill levels even of a Makhachev versus Poirier. Some of these fights last year that were had in those 155 and 170 pound divisions, or the JDM versus Bilal Muhammad. We need more of that in the UFC. We don't need more of the flyweights. We don't need more of the heavyweights either. We have 10 pounds between flyweights and bantamweight, and they're 2 of the least popular divisions. So we need to be prioritizing these divisions that get the most hype and the most built around them, and put in this 165. If they could do this, I actually bet that we would have probably only 1 or 2 bad pay-per-views per year, whereas it feels like we have maybe 4 now, maybe 5 bad pay-per-views per year. So Dana, make it happen, and we'll love the UFC. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll be back with another video.